Hey boys and girls, I wanted to show you a little bit about our place value and just sort of do a review with you to see what you know and what you don't know. We're going to work through this worksheet together, and then I'm going to have you do a few practice problems of your own. So when we look at this first number that's right here, we have the number 615. And we know that if we were to write this number down, if we choose a piece of notebook paper and we turn it side by side where the lines are going up and down instead of going across, we can use this to make a grid to put our numbers in and help us to determine the place value of each one of the digits that's there, okay? So if I were to take our very first number, this number 1, okay, I'm going to put the number 1 and draw a circle around it because that's just the number of the problem. And then I'm going to write the number 615. Now, in this worksheet, we're only dealing with hundreds, tens, and ones. So I'm going to make this like a chart, okay? And notice how I can just use the lines that are already on my paper. And this is my ones place, so I'm going to put an O right there for ones. This is my tens place, so I'm going to put a T for tens. And then in this one, I'm going to put an H for hundreds because that's my hundreds place. So I have the number 615. Now, this is the number that's underlined in the problem up here. So I know that if I take this number and I write a 6, this is actually worth 6 100s. So I would write 6 hundreds. And the value of this, if it's 600s, then that means the value is 600. Does that make sense? So it's 600. And notice you can even hear it when you say it. 615. The value is 600. All right, now we're going to move over to number 2. All right. And number 2, I'm going to write my number 2 and draw a circle around it because that's just the number of my problem. And then I'm going to write the number 19. I'm going to make my chart here. And I'm going to put ones and tens and hundreds. Now notice when I did this one, I had a 3-digit number, 1, 2, 3. But in this one, 19 is only 2 digits. So you always start your number back at the ones, the last number's in the ones place, and this is the tens place. So our number is 19, and our underlined digit is this 1 right here. So that means that I have 1 in the tens place. So I have 1 10. And if I only have 1 10, then that means that my number value is 10. Okay? Let's move on to number 3. I'm going to try moving my camera a little bit for you so you can see that. Okay? All right, and I'm going to move my paper over to have a little more room. Okay? And I'm going to put the number 3 in a circle right here. And I'm going to make my chart, hundreds, tens, and ones. Okay. And I'm going to write my number, and I start at the back here, and I put my 6 in, and then my 6, and then my 2. Okay, and my number is 266, and this 6 in the middle is the one that's underlined. So that means that I have, for this number, I have 6 tens. So if I have 6 tens, the value of that is actually 60 because I get my 6 from right here. And then I would just have a 0 for my marker. So I get 60. Okay. Then we're going to move on to number 4. right? Make sure you can still see. I'm trying to work with my camera here. Okay, I'm going to put in the number 4. Okay, and then I make my chart, hundreds, tens, and ones. Okay, and I start here at the back of my number, putting it into my chart. I go from right to left, so I put in the 0 first, and then the 7. And notice I don't have anything to go right here because this is only a 2-digit number. There's my 2 digits. And the 0 is the one that's underlined. So that means that I have 0 ones. So if I have 0 ones, that means I have 0. I have absolutely nothing. So the value of 0 ones is 0. You don't have any ones right there. Okay? So the value is 0. Okay? All right, so I'd like for you to try on your own using a piece of notebook paper. I want you to try numbers 5, 6, 7, and 8. You don't have to do the whole thing. Just do numbers 5, 6, 7, and 8. And I want you to write on a piece of notebook paper like I have here. And I want you to make your chart like this, hundreds, tens, and ones, hundreds, tens, and ones. And make sure you write like number 5 and draw a circle around it because you're going to show this to me. Then you're going to write number 6, draw your circle. Number 7, draw your circle. And number 8. And draw your circle, okay? And then make sure you make your chart. Remember hundreds, tens, ones, hundreds, tens, ones, hundreds, tens, ones, hundreds, tens, ones. And then you're just going to write the value of the underlined digit. So whatever the underlined one is, that's what you're going to do, just like I did here. So like if you had 600s, it's worth 600. 110 is worth 10, 6 tens is worth 60, and 0 ones is worth 0. Okay, so you're going to do that for numbers 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, and you're going to make sure when you're finished with that, you're going to submit this to me through a video. So you're going to get to record yourself, and I have the directions posted on your page, and you want to hold your paper up to the camera so that I can see everything really well, and then you're going to talk and read your answers off to me, okay? All right. Good job, guys. Thanks.